groups urls.py file. And here's where I'm going to basically connect all the views I just made. So we will say from Django.configuration URLs import URL, and then I'm also going to say from dot import views to actually access the views we just created, specifically those class-based views. And then we'll give this an app name groups so we can reference it later on with URL template tagging. Now I'm going to make a list of URL patterns, and we're going to say the first pattern is just going to be the very basic groups page, and that will be the list groups page. So we'll actually just call it $$. So when someone actually goes to yourwebsite.com/groups, it shows you the list of all the groups. So we'll say views list groups dot as view, and then we'll give this a name. We can just give it all, and then we're also going to say URL. And for this one, this is going to be the create page. So you can either call it /create, I'll call it /new. And then what we're going to do is say views, and that will be the create group as a view. And then we'll say name is create. Then we'll create another URL function. This is going to be for the actual detail view. And this one's going to be a little more complicated. What we're going to do is say posts/in/, and then this will actually be the group. And we're going to use regular expressions to plug in the slug there. So it goes question mark, capital P, and then open tag, close tag with slug, and then in brackets here we'll say -\w, then we'll say plus, and after all of that it's a $$. And basically what this does is it's going to say posts in, and then it's going to slugify the actual group name. And then that will lead to the actual single group there. So that will be views dot, and we called it single group. We'll say as view, and we'll give this the name. I can collapse this so we get a little more room. We'll just call this single and save. We still have 2 more URLs and 2 more views to make about leaving and joining groups, but right now we won't really worry about them. We'll take care of that when we actually create those views. The last thing I want to do in this particular lecture is assign the admin.py file for the models we created. So remember previously we created the group model as well as the group member model. So let's set that up in our admin.py. Going to open that up and then go to admin.py from Django, and then I also want to say from dot import models. So I want to register these models with the admin, and I will say admin.site.register, and then I just pass in models.group. And then the other thing I want to do is a little special with a tabular inline. And the inline class that we're going to be using basically allows us to utilize the admin interface in our Django website with the ability to edit models on the same page as the parent model. So our group member basically has a bit of a parent model with group, and what we can do is we can use a tabular inline class so that when we visit the admin page, I can click on group and then see the group members and edit those as well. So let's see how we can do that. All I need to do is say class group member, and then I'm going to say inline, and then I call admin tabular inline, and then I just do the assignment of model is equal to models.groupMember. And then I don't actually have to register it because now the group member model is inline here. And we'll see what that looks like with more detail when we actually visit the admin site. And that's all we're going to do for this lecture, just connecting the views we previously created in our urls.py file, which you can reference in the notes, as well as set up our registration for the model. So the group model, just typical registration, and then here we did a tabular inline, which we're going to see later on when we actually visit the admin page. Okay, so a much shorter lecture than the last one, so take your time with this. Definitely a lot of stuff to type out. You can always copy and paste from the notes. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you at the next lecture.